Hey guys, today I thought that I would tell y'all a little bit about calendula and also maybe make a little bit of calendula oil with you guys. This is my giant jar of calendula and it's fairly airy. Um, I had bought a whole pound and not even the whole pound could fit in this jar. It's very light, it's very airy. There's a lot of the actual flowers that are in there as well as petals. Um, I love my big jar of calendula. I get it out often. Um, Now, the information that I'm going to share with you guys about both the metaphysical and the medicinal properties of calendula both come from various things that I've read, various things that I've seen, various things that I've experienced personally using it, as well as with the help of two of my favorite books. The first of which is Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I just got this baby maybe about a few days ago or so, maybe like 4 days ago. Um, super helpful. I love that he makes it so easy to spot things and to read about them. He gives a lot of the correspondences and some of the magical and metaphysical uses of the roots, resins, herbs, different things that are in here. Another one is this Herbal Remedies for Everyday Living book by Anne McIntyre. I picked this up at Half Price Books, I guess a month or two ago. I've gone through the whole thing already. And the way that this book is laid out is amazing. I went ahead and I've gone and I've highlighted the different herbs and things that I have on hand, that I use frequently, that I'd like to start using, different things that I'd like to maybe experiment with, so that way it's easy for me to go through and spot like, oh, there's calendula. Um, Now in this book, as well as the Scott Cunningham book, calendula is under marigold, and that's because that's all calendula is dried marigold flowers. So they don't. Now, initially, I was disappointed when I placed my order for calendula. I had never worked with it before. I'd read a lot about it, I'd seen a lot of YouTube videos about it, and I really wanted to get some, but I didn't really, I guess, know what to expect. I knew what it looked like, and different things that it's used for, and things like that in terms of skincare and just oodles and oodles of information. But when I got it and I opened up the big bag that it came in and I smelled it, I was disappointed. And it doesn't smell the sweetest. It has a very earthy smell to it. Now, it's not bad by any means, but it's not sweet by any means. Um, they're very brittle. The petals fall off quite easily, but that's just because they're dried, which I don't have a problem with because I use it a lot in oils, and so that's just the way that it happens. A lot of times you don't even get the big buds and different herbs and flowers like that because you're just getting the petals or the leaves or whatever it is. But with calendula, I like it because you can actually pick up and hold individual flowers, which I find very beautiful in the jar. It's just a really lovely thing to look at and to have, and I love having it in this big jar because I just get to see it, and it's gorgeous, and it has a very sun energy. So don't be surprised if you get some calendula soap, or you make some calendula oil, or you find calendula somewhere and you smell it and it's not flowery, because it's not. I'm telling you right here, right now, it's not one of those, oh, I love the smell of this. It's an acquired smell. I'm starting to fall in love with the scent, but that's just because I've been working a lot with it and I love the uses. I love the energy. It's fantastic. But just a word of warning, if you're looking for something really fruity, flowery, sweet to use for an oil or something, and then maybe pair calendula with something else. I think maybe orange might go really well with it. Lemon might go really well with it. And kind of bring that sweetness up a little bit. But that's my little spiel on introducing calendula and what the information that I'm about to go into. So these two books, I highly, highly, highly recommend. I love them both dearly. So a lot of these words, when I go over the properties and stuff, are not straight from my mouth. They're through these books right here. So calendula, I'm going to give you a couple of correspondences and whatnot first. Has a masculine energy. It aligns with the sun's energy, so that's where that masculine, that God energy comes from. Because the sun is masculine as well. Its element is fire, which goes along with that sun energy really well, really nicely. It's very bright. It's very awakening. It's just gorgeous. And actually, it said that if you just like look at calendula often, it helps to improve your eyesight. So I don't know if that necessarily is true or not, but it's worth giving a shot, right? Because I might just need to do that a little bit because my eyesight is kind of poor. So I'm going to give that a shot myself. And before I go into these metaphysical powers and magical uses of it, intention is everything. Now, I can sit here all day long and tell you different benefits of using it, both health, spiritually, etc. But if your intention isn't there, and if you don't infuse your intention into it and remind yourself of that intention every time that you're using it, every time that you add anything to it, any time that you use it, then you're not asking the universe for anything. Then you're just kind of using things. So in order to get what you're seeking from it, you need to put that energy into it. And just keep that in mind for all of these properties and uses. The metaphysical powers, it's a very protective herb. It helps with that protection from energy, negative energies, from, I don't really like to use this word, but we see it all the time, and it's a part of our vocabulary here in society today, but evil. It helps to ward off evil. And these are my notes, by the way, that I'm looking at. It helps to aid in legal matters. It helps to increase your psychic abilities. If you hang garlands of calendula around your door frame, it helps to keep that energy, that negative energy out and help keep positive energy coming in. It's very protective, which I have found personally, it seems to really give this loving energy, protective feeling to it whenever I keep it by my altar and I keep it by my little herb cabinet, makeshift herb cabinet that I have. And it helps to seal in the energies that I'm trying to create within that space. And I feel less outside energy that I wouldn't want in there seeping in. It keeps all that nastiness out, which I love. And I can attribute that to my calendula partly. I also have selenite up there. I also have some sage up there. I have various different things, but the calendula, I think in tandem with all those things, works just beautifully. If you scatter calendula underneath your bed, it helps with prophetic dreaming and astral travel. It helps to increase that psychic ability. Remember, it helps you to get in touch with your third eye. And I think that's beautiful. I'm going to have to give that a shot myself. Um, Calendula is effective in discovering a thief who has robbed you. So again, put that intention into it and carry calendula, use it, put it in a blend, put it in a witch's ball, and hang it. And and if it since it's helpful in legal matters, if you're going to court over something like that, keep a sachet of calendula in your pocket or wherever on your person within your auric field, and it'll assist you. But make sure that that intention is there. Add it to your bath to help earn the respect and admiration of those that you meet. That's a new one for me. I think that's a really cool thing. And again, I'm going to have to give that a shot myself. Um, and we were just talking about going to court and legal matters a second ago. So if you carry it in your pocket in a yellow, orange, or white sachet, those are colors, those are the legal colors. That's also the colors of manifestation. And and that'll really help you out. I find that if you put several different things that align with that energy together, it just boosts its power. It beefs it up. And put some citrine in it. Like I said, that's the manifestation stone. And carry it with you when you go. And it'll help to aid you finding what you're seeking, whether that be justice or if there is somebody that's robbed you, if you're going to court over some nasty legal battle, this will help you. Now the medicinal properties, and these I got from the second book that I showed you. It's an antiseptic, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's an anti-ulcer, an anti-tumor, antioxidant, it's an astringent, it's great for skin. It's fabulous for skin. I can't say that enough. It's an antiviral. It helps to detox your body. It's also a diuretic. Now, a word of caution here, and this is important. For all of you ladies who are pregnant, want to become pregnant, know somebody who's pregnant that uses herbs quite a bit, don't use calendula when you're pregnant. It helps to one of the things that it does is it helps when maybe you're late or you don't have a very regular cycle. It helps to get that cycle regular and to help you menstruate. So don't use it if you're pregnant. I can't say that enough. I'll put that down below also, but just stay away if this is you. In terms of digestion, it reduces inflammation and gastritis, as well as peptic ulcers. It can be used as an astringent for bleeding due to hemorrhoids. Like you would just use calendula oil the same way that you use witch hazel. If you use that for hemorrhoids, you just put a little bit on toilet paper. There you go, and it helps to soothe things right up. Circulation, it improves circulation and relieves varicose veins. With your immune system, it reduces lymphatic congestion, which is great for me. That's a benefit that really does help with me. And if you get inflamed lymph nodes quite a bit, and first of all, if this isn't something that you experience often and you don't know the medical cause for it and you haven't seen a doctor for it, go to the doctor. If you get tender, swollen, inflamed lymph nodes, it can be a sign that there's something wrong. Maybe it's just something as simple as the flu, but that's your body's way of saying that it's fighting something. So if you don't know what's causing it and you haven't talked to a doctor about it, go to the doctor. But I know what causes mine. It's something that I experience quite regularly. I talk to my doctor frequently, and this helps me with that, with reducing the inflammation and relieving that pressure. With your urinary system, it's an antibacterial diuretic for infections and fluid retention. For your reproductive system, and this is what I was talking about when we were talking about if you're pregnant, don't use it. It regulates menstruation, relieves menstrual cramps, and relieves menopausal symptoms and also jumpstarts menstruation. With external use, and this is where I use the calendula oil a lot, it stops bleeding, it prevents infection, and it jumpstarts the healing of cuts and abrasions on your skin. So there's a little mini lesson on what calendula is, the different things that it's used for. And now I want to show you my jar that I've been shaking daily and giving a lot of love and energy and intention into. This is my jar of calendula oil that I made, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. And I love to just, the more you shake it, the better. It just keeps it fresher. There's no stagnant parts that way. Because calendula can mold quite easily, so you need to keep it super dry in a light, dry place. But this is my jar that I've made, and usually I'll make a jar that's about this size, but I'll show y'all how to make that today. And since I already have a big jar of it, and that's the size jar that I usually make, I'm just going to make an eensy weensy little jar today to show y'all. And it's little bitty, so I'm not going to be using very much. But you know, you make the amount that you want to use. If you want to just start small, see if you like it. If you do, then by all means, go get a big jar. I get them at a local health food store for about $1 a pop. And I, you know, reuse them all the time, and I can never have enough mason jars. So I am going to put some calendula right on my lid for my jar, because these leaves can get everywhere if you don't keep them contained. So first I like to put my herbs in. And what I love to get my hands in there, I have clean, dry hands, but I love to get my hands in there because then you're infusing your power into it. So I'm going to take, and the spout is kind of small, so I'm trying not to get calendula everywhere. I'm just going to stuff some buds in and just boop, right down in there. And this might take just a second because the spout is so small, but and with every bit that I'm touching, I'm just telling that calendula what I want it to do for me. So if I'm silent, that's what I'm doing. And just stuff it right in. And I might not even fill up this container. I might just do just a little bit. I like to usually fill it up because then there's less air in there and less opportunity for any kind of growth of any kind. And anytime that you see any kind of growth of any kind in any kind of oil that you're making, toss it, get rid of it. Because if it's grown mold or it smells rancid or anything, then the whole thing is bad. So only make what you know you're going to use too, to help kind of prevent waste. Only use what you know that you are going to use. So if you don't know if you're going to like it or not, like I said, just make a little one. See how that goes. See how you like it. Here we go. I'm just going to finish off putting in here what I put on that lid, and then I'll top it off with some oil. Now, I'm not being very neat. I'm getting petals everywhere. All over my placemat. Let's see. Almost done. Okay. Let's see. The rest of these babies. I'll go back. Top off my big jar. Make sure it's tight, tight, tight. All right, so I have about this much calendula in here, and the rule of thumb when you're making oils is fill the the container with oil after you filled in the herbs, and you just want to top it off to where no herb is sticking up through the oil. You want it to be completely submerged. So I have just regular old canola oil here and a funnel, and you can use whatever oil you want. Oils like this are called carrier oils, and that's like the bulk of the oils that you're going to use. And with this jar over here, I use sunflower oil because I wanted that sun, that fire energy into it. So the sunflower mixed with the calendula really boosts that energy. So I'm interested to see what the energy difference is here with using my calendula oil versus the sunflower oil. So I'm going to take this canola oil. And I'm just going to watch it. See how it's already kind of getting the petals a little bit damp. I don't know if you can see that. There's just barely any oil there, but those petals are going to get completely submerged, completely covered with oil. It's always best to go too slow than too fast, I've found. All right. And I almost went too fast, and we almost had oil everywhere. Let's see. In fact, I might have too much in here once I put the cork in. But we'll see if we can't incorporate it and get some of this level taken down a little bit. Actually, that is too much. So pardon me, I'm just going to see how much more oil in there I put. It's all the way up to here. I'm going to go pour out just a smidge. I'll be right back. I apologize. Okay, I'm coming right back. This neck on this bottle is just so skinny. But this is perfect. That's right where I want my oil level to be. It's right there, and I haven't even shaken it up yet. So I'm going to do that now. Now the lid is on tight. Look how pretty that looks already. Doesn't that just look so pretty? And with the flower buds that are in there, I just think it's gorgeous. So I'm going to give it a shake. And you want to shake it every day, at least once a day. More is better, but at least once a day, just to avoid that stagnant energy and air. And I also like to open it up and smell it. I don't do that every day just because I don't want to let a whole bunch of air in. But I do like to smell it just to make sure that it's on the right track, that nothing's gone bad. There we go. That's a good shake. And they're all just floating there in the oil. Now I'm going to let this sit for at least 2 weeks. Calendula, I usually let infuse in oil a little bit less time than other herbal oils that I've done, just because calendula does have a tendency to mold quicker. So I'll filter it, through cheesecloth and put it back in the container without the herbs, just the infused oil, and then use that. I haven't tried leaving the calendula in the jar with the oil. I've thought about giving it a try with this jar right here because I know of some other witches that do that. So I want to see if it'll last, and I'll let you guys know. But if you're going to strain it, then all you would do is take a spouted container with some cheesecloth over it, strain it through, put the oil back in the container, and that's it. So here you have your very own protective, Brightening, boosting, great for your skin, great for your skin, great for blemishes, everything. Remember, it has that healing property in it in terms of your skin, especially abrasions, cuts, bleeding, acne, all of the above. It's fantastic. So here's my little mini bottle of calendula oil. I hope that I have taught you something new today, or at least entertained you for a little while. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, maybe, or leave a comment down below telling me what you thought. Um, I'm having so much fun doing this stuff with you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed day. Blessed be, friends.